All right, to go along with our 1968 release of the 140, we obviously need to know a price, right? So at the same time, on September 22nd, the same date as the sales bulletins came out, also there was price bulletin release. So this is the new 140 hydrostatic drive lawn and garden tractor. And in 1967, they were anticipating the suggested list price for an H1, so 140 single hydraulics with either the GT3 or GT4 tires, to be $1,258. And then the 140 H3 tractor, the triple hydraulics, which we have yet to see again in the latest X series, at $1,358. And for those of you who are wondering, and then you, and you say that things just keep getting more and more expensive, $1,358 in 1967 would equate to $10,029 in 2017. So certainly something to consider there in terms of prices. So anyway, that's the price for the tractor. Obviously, that does not include the mower decks. I don't know if the mower decks are on here. So the 48 rotary mower was another $175, which $175 in 1967 to 2017 is $1,292. A 49 snowblower was $265. 265 related to 2017 would be $1,957, which I think is that's pretty daggum close to a cost of a 47 blower at this point. And so obviously then the tiller and the extension of the tiller we didn't have a price on yet. Boy, I'd really like to get the manual angling kit or the hydraulic angling. The hydraulic angling kit for the 54 blade for $33. I think that'd be a deal and a half now. But yeah, so kind of some cool stuff there in terms of prices. I think this is mostly weights and covers and everything else. Some of the umbrellas that were available, things like that. And then also, at the same time, Deere also released the pricing on what they called the 110A. So this would be the square fender style 110. So this is the price, same type of price bulletin as you saw with the 140. In this particular case, the 110A, the hydraulic lift 110A started out at $926, which in 2017, I'm doing this on the fly, in 2017 relate to $6,838.79. So kind of interesting there. Price hasn't changed all that much. You think about the 110 being very similar to say an X5, something like that in terms of current models offered. So kind of cool in terms of prices. The other thing I wanted to show you is now I already showed this brochure in the previous video, or the video previous to this. Now this is the second type of brochure that came out on the 140. And the reason I'm showing you this one is actually I have not seen a lot of copies of this brochure. I've seen more of the 67 brochure. This brochure is actually from November of 68. So the reason I wanted to show you this is because it has some really, really cool things in it. First off, it started off here. It says basically, if you can see it, you get a full value from 14 working horsepower. So even though they have the picture of the 68 with the front cover and everything, and also the four-legged leaping deer, they've already, for 11 of 68, for the date of this brochure, they've already bumped up the horsepower to 14. Same, very similar pictures as in the 1967 brochure. But this brochure has a couple things that the other one does not have. Much of this is the same, the Haben flail mower, stuff like that. Also the Dan User CD1, certainly something really good to have there. What that other brochure does not have is it does not have the hydraulic soil mover. So the soil movers were made in Nebraska. If you've ever seen one, I have a manual version. I've actually never put it behind my 140, but I do have the manual version. I made a video on that a couple years ago, and I haven't done much with it since. It's still in the exact same condition as it was almost 2 years ago. Also, I think the most important thing here is there is the Hawk-built or ARPS trencher. And I will go over that in a future video because I've actually got some of the releases for the Hawk-built or the ARPS trencher. There's only 4 or 5 of these known to exist for John Deere's. So they're kind of cool. I've been fortunate enough to see a couple of them in person. Very cool little units and how they work. Certainly something that you would love to own. However, to own one, you have to spend a lot of money to buy one. So just kind of a couple things that's in this brochure that you normally don't see. I kind of like this phrase right here. You won't find specs like these on any other tractor under 30 horsepower. So Deere was clearly trying to fit a market at this point in time and try to separate themselves from International Harvester and Cub Cadet. So, but that's the 1968, 1967 releases on the 140. What we'll do next is I'll actually go through some sales bulletins, and we'll talk about some of the things that were out there and some of the changes that existed over the course of production of the 140 and some of the information that I have. I don't have a complete set of information. Some of the things that I really lack are a lot of the dealer binders, dealer manuals. I've been really fortunate to collect some of the dealer bulletins, but I don't necessarily have the sales manuals, a lot of the sales manuals. I have sales manuals for the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but I don't have anything really from the 60s and 70s. Just not something I've been able to come across and purchase. So anyway, the next video will actually be I'll blab a little bit about some of the things that came out during the production run. Also the custom color tractors that came out in 69 and 70, 71. We'll talk about that. So there you go. Thanks for watching.